Hello, I'm Matthew Malcolm with Pacific Net Producer Magazine, reporting to you here today with Jim Zion from Meridian Growers. He also serves on the Agricultural Trade Advisory Council and wanted to just talk with you about the port situation. Obviously, you're big in pistachios. From your perspective, wanted to talk about how pistachios have been impacted by our port slowdown and the bottlenecking that's going on over there, and some of the factors that are influencing this continued issue, and what we can do about it.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's been an ongoing issue. It started last year in the fall, where we start to had some issues with finding containers, chassis, getting bookings. So much of what we produce in California, on both pistachios, almonds, walnuts, pecans, goes overseas, anywhere from 60 to 80%. So the ability to move product overseas is important for us, especially in Asia. And we've seen where it's becoming more difficult to get containers that we can fill up, to get chassis that actually we can put the containers on to take them to the ports. And we've seen a lot of delays as well as just flat out cancellations in shipping. Last year was pretty bad. We're being told this year could be even worse than it was last year. So we're just bracing ourselves on what we're going to be able to do to get through this.
Yeah, so we've got so many factors that are contributing to this slowdown. Like you said, lack of supplies. We've had, COVID, and as things kind of calm down from that, should that help our situation? I mean, do we forecast these port issues going on through the rest of this year and beyond, or what can we expect?
I think that this is a symptom of a much larger issue. With trade increasing, we're connected globally. And what we saw in COVID is that there was such a pent-up demand for consumer goods out of Asia, primarily China. A lot of that product was being imported back to the United States through the West Coast ports, LA, Long Beach, and Oakland. And they did not have the capacity to handle the influx. And to me, this is a much bigger issue. And as the administration starts talking about infrastructure, the one thing I don't hear a lot about is about port infrastructure. And what are we going to do to increase that infrastructure? We have to increase it. The West Coast ports are not at the point they're going to be able to handle the influx of both product coming in the United States as well as for us product going out. And that to me is a bigger concern. So this is a short-term issue that's becoming a very much of a long-term issue.
And with this trade council that you're serving on, what work and what efforts are you making to make a difference here?
Well, a lot of what we do there is we advise the USDA and the United States Trade Representative on issues affecting agriculture. Ours is specifically on fruits and nuts. It could be things such as food safety issues, trade issues, competitive issues, logistical issues. So it's made up of, I think at last time there's about 30 people from all different sectors of the fruit and nut business to come together, and we basically advise USDAs on what's happening in the industry they need to be aware of. What issues should they be concerned with on the trade side? Obviously, there's a lot going on, not only in the logistics. There are some trade agreements coming up that we have to be aware of. We're currently working on the United States-UK trade agreement. There's a move to get a trade agreement with Taiwan, Kenya. These are all things that we're involved with. And part of what I do is try to bring up issues that affect us on the dried fruit and nut side, primarily pistachios and almonds, which we grow, and pecans.
Right.
Yes.
Well, I don't know how you keep up with all of this. On top of being a grower and now a processor.
Yes.
From what we discussed before this interview, you've got a new processing facility. Can you just share a little bit about that?
Yeah, we are putting in a brand new processing facility in Fireball, California, basically between Fireball and Madera. And this year we will be operational. We'll do about 15 million pounds, move it up to 20, and in phase 2 will be 50. So we were in processing. We're getting back into it. We're pretty excited by it. So obviously I've got even a more vested interest in what's happening on freight because it affects me directly, not only as a grower but as a processor. because we can produce and process, we have to get this product moved. So we're very excited about the opportunity. I love being in the processing business. I love being in the growing business. Pistachios are kind of my life. So this is just back to where we were, and I'm pretty excited with the partners that Larry, the Louder family, Larry and Janice and that family. It's been fantastic. Great team, and it's good to be back. It's good to be back.
Awesome. And yeah, like you said, this is just a representation of the growth that's going on in our industry, and we can't afford to have these slowdowns at the ports. We can't do business, and when we're restricted like this. So
Yes.
really hope that that there's there's a light at the end of the tunnel and we can get past this, especially through harvest here.
Yes.
So thank you for your time. Read more about these things in Pacific Net Producer Magazine. I'm Matthew Malcolm, CaliforniaAgNet.com.